Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 39. Tonight we're talking new Mario Golf details, a Skyward Sword amiibo, are motion controls dead, plus other community questions. That and more. Well, awesome deal. I am Andros, and I am joined, as I am joined every week, by my fellow Nintendo pal co-host, Micah.
Yep.
And we are also joined by special guests tonight, visiting us from the Nintendo Pal Block podcast, Eddie V.
Hello, Nintendo Palace viewers and my elite black agents. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Doing great.
Awesome.
I am so pumped to have you on. I am especially excited to, because I hope you don't mind that we start off by maybe stealing a little bit from your guys' show and asking, how's snack life? You know, you guys always start talking about what you eat.
Yes, our Snacktendo segment. So my snack life actually has been bunkers. So Pringles just came out with this pineapple chip.
Oh, that sounds weird. That sounds real weird.
And pineapple habanero. That's what it is. And I tasted it, and I was just like, I was so excited and everything. And it has a little sweetness, but you cannot taste the pineapple and you cannot taste the habanero. So it tastes like it's super bland. Yeah,
Man, that stinks.
yes, because you don't taste no pineapple, you don't taste no habanero. It's just like, what in the world is going on? So today we just got some jalapeno cream dip from Frito-Lay that I haven't tried yet. It just came out. And then there's a sweet lime and sea salt Tostito chips that just came out, but I haven't picked it up, so I'm gonna get that later on and try it out. But yeah, I've been eating good with my snack. Had a supreme pizza from Domino's Monday night. Have you ever had those days where you just feel like, look, I don't feel like doing anything. I feel like being dumb. I just want to just be fat and just eat whatever I want to eat. Just
Yes,
like have
man.
a lazy day for you. And that's kind of what I had Monday. That supreme pizza was good too.
Yeah, I am like we just got from some friends sent us a box of those gosh, what are they called? The like little circle chocolates. You know, they come in like the little ball.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and my wife hid them so that the kids would not ask for them like all the time, right?
Hmm.
But I also don't know where they are. And these are Linder chocolates. Thank you in chat. Linder chocolates. I don't know where they are, and I told my wife, don't tell me where they are, because I will eat all of them. I'm gonna go crazy on these. So I just ask every night. I'm like a child. I'm like, hey, could I have a chocolate? To my wife.
Oh, wow.
Go pull them out. I have no self restraint. So that's
I don't need it. I would get up in the middle of the night and go to Burger King and get something to come back home and be like, but yeah.
yeah, it's such a cool idea for a segment on y'all's show. I think that's a pretty nifty thing that you guys do over there. And
Yeah.
I listened to this latest episode that was done, and you weren't there, and you know, wasn't nearly as exciting of a snack segment. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
missing that habanero Pringle adventure.
Yeah, I think with me when it comes to Snacktendo, because we kind of started a few months ago, like last year, we met people and we became friends by talking about food, like fried rice and stir fry and crabfish and just like different foods from different places and hear about things. It just all connected us, brought us all together and everything. And it was just like I can't believe we're talking about snacks on the Nintendo podcast, and my friend's just like, yeah, what about why not call it Snacktendo? And that's how that segment came to be. And so, we still to this very day will post recipes, will post food that we're cooking for dinner, lunch, just anything for Snacktendo, and it would be like, ooh, I want that, and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. We are big into snacking, and it's almost bad at my house. Um, we go to Costco and just buy like the bulks of stuff, just huge packages of crackers and snacks and chips, and it's like we gotta cut ourselves off sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I did get a message from Micah. He said his internet went down, so he's resetting that. But why don't we hop over? We can start up the first segment of our show, which is what you playing.
Ah.
So for this part of the show, we talk about games that we're playing recently and lately on Nintendo. So Eddie, you want to start us off? What have you been playing lately?
So I've been playing the Famicom Detective Agency. I'm playing the not the missing air one, the missing girl, the
The
behind one.
the girl who
Uh,
stands behind. Yeah, that
that,
one
yeah,
looked like significantly scarier, at least from the
it
trailer.
It does. I really what's different about this one because it's a visual novel kind of detective game. I like that Nintendo they like animated everything. A lot of stuff is animated. Normally when you play a visual novel from Japan, they're like a stand animated still and they're just talking. But they're giving voice. They're talking everything, even though it's subtitled. And it's like, wow. I still trying to learn part of the game because my mind goes to Phoenix Wright since I'm thinking it's an adventure game, but it's kind of not like that in a sense. But it's a really good game. I'm enjoying it. I've got the bundle, so I got both games, so I can't wait to play more of it. Um, I am playing also Super C from the Contra collection,
All
and
right, all right.
I'm practicing getting ready because I want to stream it doing a straight run without the Konami code because there's a different Konami code than the one from the first game. Like I could run through Contra by myself without the Konami code. I did it for the
That's
U.S. version
impressive.
yeah, I did it for the U.S. version and the Japanese version, and people don't know that the Japanese version is different than America because it got cutscenes and the music is a little bit better than that. I'm like, oh wow. And last but not least, I'm playing Sundred, for on my Switch and everything, and really really enjoying that. I love that Metroidvania kind of roguelike feel to it. That's what I'm playing right now on my Switch.
That feels like a pretty good balance. You're doing like a visual novel detective game,
Mm,
which I'd say is probably a little bit more relaxing than something like Super C, where you're is like super intense, and then you got that like Metroidvania, kind of the middle middle ground.
yes, yes.
Nice.
My friends usually ask me, "How are you balancing 7 games throughout the week?" I'm like, I just pick and choose. But those are the three that I'm playing right now on Switch.
Awesome. Well, Micah is back. Your internet outage adventure. Um,
Hope that's over with.
so why don't you pop in? What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a little more Pokemon Snap. I just finished filling up the photo decks with
Nice.
each Pokemon. Of course, I still need to get like all the different poses with like 80% of them, but
Man, you are now
well,
miles ahead of me in that game. I'm nowhere near that.
yeah, I think I've put about 30 hours into it at this point. So I've been
Oh
playing quite
wow.
a bit. uh, also, finished up the DLC in Moonlighter. Deciding if I want
Ooh.
to start a new game plus. Maybe I'll wait a few months and then start that up and go through it again.
Yeah, it seems like one to like wait on it for a bit and then jump back in.
Yeah, because I tend to rush through one game at a time, I guess. So yeah, I got a little burned out of that one towards the end.
Yeah, that one took over Hades for you, right? That was like
Yeah.
you were on Hades for a bit. Well, no, you did Celeste in between there as well. Did...
Oh yeah, I went back to Celeste and just replayed a few levels and got frustrated and stopped. Yeah. But yeah, well,
Which
when I
was
went back to Celeste, I forgot some control things you could do that were very necessary. And, it took me a while to get back into the swing of things, but yeah.
I we don't have much longer to wait before Spelunky 2, which I think is going to be that
Oh
next
yeah,
one, which will pull us both in.
for sure.
Nice. Anything else you want to
Besides
highlight?
that, I played a few rounds of Fortnite. That's practically the same as usual, I guess.
Yeah.
we actually had a discussion about Fortnite. We had a discussion if kids could play Fortnite, they should be able to play Mega Man 1. And people yelled about that discussion.
Mega Man 1's pretty difficult, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Fortnite's pretty complicated. You know, it's funny cuz if you get someone from like the era of Mega Man, I think
Mhm.
typically they wouldn't do awesome at Fortnite. But then you get these kids that are like really good at Fortnite, they probably wouldn't do good at Mega Man. It's like what happened? Like the generational gap. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. For me, I unfortunately have had a like super busy work week, so I haven't had a ton of time to game. I played a little bit of Fortnite. I also played a little bit more of Wii Party U on the Wii U. My son has gotten back into that, as well as some Breath of the Wild. He is loving Breath of the Wild, and so I hop in and help him out on that, and then after he after he went to bed, I just kept playing on his file, just like, oh, I'll just take him over to this area, and man, that game's so good. It holds up, and I'm just so excited for the sequel to come out. Uh, the thing for me is like I I'm thinking it would be fun to try and speed run it. I don't think I'll ever get to like this point where people are beating it in like under 30 minutes kind of deal,
Mhm.
but it would be fun to try to see if I can do just a go straight to Ganon run, you know. Cuz I don't think I've ever tried that. I did try it once for a YouTube video back in the day with my brother, where each of us took one of the Joy Cons and controlled. Oh, it was bad. We died so much, so many Guardian lasers took us out. Yeah. So that's basically been it for me. I also played a little bit of Fort, and yeah, it's going well.
I swear, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity has spoiled me with its quick action. Like I kind of want Breath of the Wild too, whatever that may be. I want that fast paced action. There's something about mixing. I don't know, something about mixing that fast paced action, like an action style game with Zelda would work if they just did it. Like I would love to have a combo system in a Zelda game.
Yeah, I think they could take some points from it. Like for me, I'm not a huge fan of the Warriors gameplay,
Hmm.
but it is fun to hit those combos because in Breath of the Wild, there's not really like like you said, there's not a combo system. You can hold the button down, or you can time your button presses. That's it. Like
Yeah.
that's about as complex as it gets. And I do think it would be cool to get more of a combo system in there. Maybe with some of the weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, we got in chat Micah's frozen face. Micah's disappeared now. He's having internet struggles. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh no.
But I'll take this opportunity because I forgot to talk about it at the head of the episode. We have coming up a big event holiday to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, and that is not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, May 29th, where we are going to be streaming and doing community games and a special edition of our podcast. We're going to be like on pretty much all day, like off and on all throughout the day. So mark your calendars for May 29th. Uh, join up our Discord, follow us on Twitter, and on Twitch, and keep up with all those details. I'm going to be putting out a giveaway as part of hyping up the deal for a $20 eShop gift card. So be on the lookout for that. I should have it posted and out by the time this is up on all the other platforms. So yeah, May 29th, Nintendo Pals Day. We're looking forward to it. No promises on Micah's internet. No, it should be working in good order there. Well, that is what we have been playing. So let's head over to the next segment of our show, which is talking the Nintendo news. So we've got quite a bit of news. As we were approaching recording time, I was like, man, this is gonna be a light show. Hopefully we get a lot of community questions. But Nintendo's put a lot of stuff out this week.
Oh yeah.
Like out of the blue, things that I'm like, whoa, wait, where did that come from? Starting off, we got more details on Mario Golf Super Rush. New characters, showed the starting roster, showed new modes, and showed new courses. Eddie, what were your thoughts? I don't know if you got a chance to see the trailer and see the starting roster.
I got this. I got to see it. I have a lot of people at Boss Rush excited for this game. I it's been a while since I played a Mario Golf game, and seeing all of this, the first time I seen it, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this anyway, But seeing more of this, I was just like, oh, this is about to be a barrel of fun. Just all the characters, all the courses, all the last playing the online mode and stuff. I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah, it looks super super fun. And I thought, like, based off of the starting trailer, I was like, okay, well, I thought you had a pretty good idea, but then they showed the new like speed golf battle mode where you're in like an arena and you're trying to like capture flags, kind of like Splatoon. And I'm like,
Yes.
man, this looks pretty dang awesome. And it looked like that had all online play. And the roster, I was surprised by some of the characters they added. We're getting Pauline, Chargin' Chuck, and King Babam. Like, oh, what? We're getting Charging Chuck in a golf game, which I think is hilarious because he's a football player. You're like, I guess he likes golfing. He's just into all sports.
Yeah. And man, I gotta find out who is my character that I'm going to use in this game. And I want to try everybody that they show, like that we know of, and see what fits me. And not just because I just don't want to play Mario. I want to play around and be like, oh, this character fits me. It's gonna probably end up being Luigi or Toad or somebody.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably be playing Waluigi. I just love his like mobster outfit that he's got going on with the button-up vest and the fedora. Oh man, it's hilarious. I'm also excited for the custom me that you get to have, where you get to make custom stats. And the story mode, they showed that there's going to be boss battles, which looked very similar to like Mario Tennis Aces, and I was like, man, they looked pretty fun. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to even just the single player content.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the courses, I'll say for my opinion, they didn't look like super exciting. And there apparently aren't going to be like too many at the start. Hopefully they add more. The most interesting one I think was the Bowser's course, which looked like it had like hexagon tiles that were falling into lava depending on where the ball landed. But the rest of them just kind of looked like, your standard, this is a golf game, and maybe there's some Mario stuff on it. Some piranha plants and some coin block kind of things. But I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'm just... I've seen other Mario Golf games, and the courses looked a lot more interesting to me compared to this. But I'm just really excited for all the modes and the characters. And this is the same team that did Mario Tennis Aces, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm expecting that this game's gonna get a lot of DLC. Like we're gonna get some new characters, probably get some more courses.
Mm-hmm. But I think so. Yeah, I think probably around October we'll get some new. Like they'll do a Nintendo Direct, and be like, "This is a DLC for this game," and then probably by December or next year, we'll get some more before they like shut it down or something. I think we'll probably get 2 or 3 DLC packs for this and everything.
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, with Aces, they like released characters. It felt like every month for a little bit there. They did a ton of extra like post game content for just characters. Because I remember they added Pauline, they added Luma, they added like all these Chain Chomp. You can play as Chain Chomp. I'm like, it makes me excited for what they're gonna do for this game because the characters just look so good. You know.
Can I want Mauser to be in this game
Yeah.
for Super Mario Brothers 2. Like him having the shades and then him just sitting in the ball and stuff. And then like his ball looked like the red bombs that he throws for Super Mario Brothers 2. And, like I want to see all of that.
Yeah, we get some. Oh gosh, is it Mort? What's Mario 2's final boss? Man, I'm blanking on the
Um,
name.
Frog.
Yeah, the big frog. Wart, not Mort.
Wart.
Thanks.
Yeah.
LPD in chat got my back. Wart would be a fun like callback to a
Yes.
character. I Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the roster was pretty filled up with everybody I want. So I just wanted to go weird with it, you know, like Chain Chomp, Goomba, like he's holding the club with his mouth. I don't know. It'd just be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Micah is back. So we're just talking. We're just talking. We were just talking Mario Golf, new details. What are some new characters you would like to see added?
I feel like they got most of the big ones I wanted. I mean, not really even big ones that I really wanted, but Boo, and I didn't realize I'd wanted him until I saw he was in. But the King Bob-omb.
Yeah, I liked his super rush ability where he's carried by bunches of little bob bombs to go faster. I
Yeah.
thought I was like, that's just so good, such a good addition. Yeah, I'm excited. I think our community will probably be into this game just because of its multiplayer functionality. I'm hoping that they have like the asynchronous multiplayer that they had for the previous for the 3DS entry, where you could do
Uh,
tournaments. I didn't see anything about that, but fingers crossed that that's going to be there. Besides that, we had new games added to Nintendo Switch Online, and I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't even remember what any of them are except for Spanky's Quest, which I thought looked absolutely bonkers, and I was like, I gotta try that one.
Some
I
baseball
remember.
simulator.
Yeah, Joe and Mac. I remember.
Joe and Mac, which was a different title, Caveman Ninja, right? Like
Yes.
I was like, I'd never heard of it by that title before. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, Caveman Ninja was the arcade version of Joe and Mac. But when the game came out back in the '90s on Super Nintendo, um, they was mostly in Japan and not here in America. For Caveman Ninja. So when it came out, it just came out as Joe and Mac, and that's what everybody knew it as.
Yeah, and then, so besides Joe and Mac, yeah, like
Did it
Micah
freeze?
mentioned,
I
we
think
got the
we might have lost
baseball.
Andrew actually this time.
Oh, we did.
I know there was. I'm just trying to look them up. Oh, I think he's moving again.
Am I back?
You're back.
That's
I know
weird.
there's
I
some fire emblem something.
that is only for Japan.
Oh, is it? That's
Yeah, they're
disappointing.
getting the Fire Emblem, the Holy War. Yeah, so oh, okay, so the stream just came back. Stream's probably like, what is happening tonight? I don't know what's going on. The internet is conspired against us. But
Oh, yeah, there we go.
yeah, so the Fire Emblem's exclusive to the Japan NSO, which I just think that's so wild. I guess it'd probably be work to translate and bring that over, but
Yeah. Oh man, that's one I was probably most looking forward to.
and then Magical Drop 2 for Was that for the NES? One of these is for the NES. That might have been.
Magical Dream Drop was for Super Nintendo.
Okay, what was the other one? It's
It was a Japanese game.
Ninja Jajamaru-kun. I
Yes.
probably butchered that pronunciation real bad. Um, but the baseball simulator looked like it had some kind of wacky power-ups to it. It's a random assortment of games for them to just like come out after so long and then just be like, hey, here's 5 more games that you've never heard of before. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard good things about the Super Baseball Simulator, so I'm excited to try that one out.
Yeah, same. Same. Um, I'm excited for Spanky's Quest. We had third strongest mole in our Discord community. He was like, "Don't sleep on that game. It's great." So we'll definitely be checking that one out.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it was weird. He like blew bubbles, and the bubbles turned into like sports. It would turn into like soccer balls or basketballs and do damage to
Yeah.
bosses. Like it it looked very weird. So right
Did
right
it
up
ever
our alley.
did it ever come to America? I've never seen it in stores or anything.
I'm guessing so because we had Mole in the community play it, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I frequent with some retro communities, and there were a couple people that had played it. So probably one of those like obscure, like Plock. Like Plock is our community's obscure game that we all
Yeah,
love. Like one that no one's heard of, but might be a hidden gem. Who knows?
I heard of Pluck, but I never played it. Once again, a game that I know of but never seen in stores.
Oh man, Micah won't vouch for this, but our community will vouch that Plock is awesome. I love Plock. I genuinely enjoy that game a lot. um, I
it's all right.
when Nintendo put this out, replied to their tweet on the Nintendo Pals account saying, "Could we get Plock next? If you're gonna give us 5 random games no one's heard of, could you give me the one random game no one's heard of that I want?"
And then they probably had to then look it up to see what it was.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'm always one like I've seen a lot of people online. Not a lot. I've seen people online say like, why did they even add these? It's just free stuff, Like you're paying
Yeah.
for the service already. I'm not paying for the service for the NSO library. That's just kind of a bonus. And it's not super expensive either. I think it's like when you're on the family plan, it's like $4 a year per person kind of deal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's
I just want to know how they decide which games.
yeah. I think it
They just have.
seems
I think they just have a big hat. They just draw
I,
from. Like,
I think
sure.
it's what games can they easily emulate to the surface.
yeah.
Um, so I think they just like kind of choose that these games that's so obscure that if we bring them out and emulate them, people would give them a chance because it may be something that people haven't heard or never played back in the days. So
I also think there's
Yeah, that's a good
probably
point.
licensing is in play here, which is why we don't see like Chrono Trigger, which people really want.
oh, I'm sure it would be easy to come to. It's just up to Square Enix when they want to
Right.
release
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like the licensing issues, because they have to get it from these different companies. So a lot of these like more obscure, they're not very famous, are probably a lot easier to grab.
And
And
everybody still want Turtles in Time. Once Turtles in
oh,
Time, once Turtles in Time come to Switch Online for Super NES, it's a done deal. They don't have to put anything else out.
I that would be so great, especially right before the new Shredder's Revenge. Oh,
Yes.
that would be so good if they added that.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what's been added to NSO. In addition to that, like about the same time, they announced a brand new amiibo, and this is the Zelda and her Loftwing from Skyward Sword. And first off, I gotta say, it is a nice looking amiibo. Like
Mm-hmm.
super high quality looking. Definitely a really like a good collectible display figure. And that one's going to have in-game functionality to basically be Furor's Wind from Ocarina of Time, where you can teleport out of dungeons um, and teleport back in to where you left off. And we have a question on this one. I think maybe we can just talk about this now. Skipping ahead, we have a question on this one from K9 Cantina, and he says, if I can get to it quickly, what are your guys' thoughts on the new Zelda Skyward Sword Loftwing amiibo having a quality of life function behind a paywall of amiibo, as opposed to the usual cosmetics you normally get with an amiibo? And he says, side note, the amiibo looks great.
So I did answer this on it in the chat on Discord. But like for an honest answer, I don't find no problem with it. I think we still are buying amiibos. We're still collecting amiibos. So this little functionality, whether you use it or not, it really doesn't matter or anything. There's been other cosmetics in games that people have brought that has done like really nothing for you or anything. It hasn't like enhanced the game or anything. So I think if you was gonna buy it anyway, just to have a collectible, the fast travel thing shouldn't be like a big deal. If you were planning on buying this amiibo, you're gonna go ahead and buy it. If you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. You know, that's free, not free market. That allows me to go into Best Buy and have a chance to get it. You know, so that's my thoughts on it.
Micah, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the being able to switch between like the sky world and the regular world whenever you want isn't really that much of a quality of life.
Uh oh. Did
Oh
I?
no.
We lost Micah
Like, up,
right
am I back?
mid thought. Yeah, you're back. You're back. I can hear you.
Like I don't think it's too much of a quality of life update. I don't think it's something that's really necessary. So I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. A lot of people are think it's like really really terrible of Nintendo not to just add that in anyways. But I don't
I
know, maybe
I am not convinced a lot of people think that. I'm convinced
I
there's a
get
loud group
a lot of
on.
people that comment on things, I should say, I
Yes,
guess.
I'm convinced that that group doesn't like that, but that group also doesn't like pretty much anything Nintendo does. So,
But
so
it's the same group of people who will put the $25 to pre-order it. So it's just like, what are you complaining about if you're still going to get the thing? My thing is, if you're going to complain about something that Nintendo do, avoid it. Don't give into it. If you matter about this amiibo, don't buy it. But
yeah,
people are gonna buy it because they know that if I don't get it, I may not get another chance to get one. And then the scalpers are gonna jack that price up. So your $25 may become four times the price for you to have it.
yeah, I'm in the same kind of boat with my thinking. Like Micah, I didn't think like it's really that big of a bonus, especially in Skyward Sword, which is very linear. Like, and but at the same time, I get it. Like, I feel like I would prefer if the amiibo stuff was just cosmetic and not like in-game functionality. Uh, just because, like, what if I did really want that, but I don't want to pay the amiibo price for it? Like, this isn't a new practice. Like Bowser's Fury, they just did like I think it was the Cat Mario amiibo
Mm.
would bring Bowser in and out of the level, and basically make the game give you like an easier mode for the game. And I'm trying to think. There's been lots of amiibo that give functionality in the game. Uh,
They had like a Wolf Link in Twilight Princess,
yeah,
or
Yeah.
was
that one's really
yeah,
cool. My thoughts on, well, like, I think a lot of people are more concerned about this one because it's more viewed as a quality of life improvement to the game, but we don't know what quality of life improvements they've put in. Like we don't
Yes.
know those details because the game's not out yet and they haven't done like a deep dive into what's changed since the last time. So they might have quality improvements in other areas that will totally negate even having to have the amiibo, and there might be lots of other improvements that we're not aware of. So by comparison, you go, okay, well, that's not too big of a deal to lose that one. I don't know. I don't know. We
It,
got
isn't the game? Isn't the game out after E3,
it is.
or is it before? Okay, so I think we'll probably see more in their Nintendo Direct for E3 about Skyward Sword. They'll probably be like, okay, the game is coming out, but here is 10 minutes of a breakdown and more quality of life stuff that you guys didn't know that we added on.
Yeah, I'm betting that that's gonna be the case because like it's like such a weird timing. Like I thought like it seems like this game was supposed to come out before E3. Like that's
Hmm.
kind of a, and that they're gonna announce maybe some more Zelda stuff to come out later. But I don't know now because it's coming out in July, and if they announce more Zelda stuff coming out after, like, are they gonna are they gonna hurt the sales of Skyward Sword by announcing Wind Waker coming out after, or Breath of the Wild 2 coming out at the end of the year? I don't know.
No, no, because people learned about, if I don't get these games at this time, I'm not going to get them. Look how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did. Once they did that DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, for Smash, everybody was trying to find the physical version and could not find it in stores at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, yeah. So my thoughts on it. I don't think it's a big deal. I did want to share. We had K9 Cantina who asked the question. He's in chat. Said he totally agrees. He pre-ordered his, and the added functionality is just a bonus, and also agrees that there's a small group that makes a lot of noise. The Nintendo Grinches. I like that the term. The Nintendo Grinches. I do think I've seen a lot of like big name folks in the Nintendo news world talking about this. Like, oh man, I'm so annoyed that Nintendo did this, and I just feel like it's a bandwagon thing. I don't know. I like no. I respect everybody can have their opinion, but I do feel like it's being made bigger just because it's being like everybody's talking about it. So then you go, well, wait, and you jump in and you got to talk about it too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably
As long
offended.
as
I
I don't
probably offended everyone just now.
as long as I don't see that amiibo on your social media posts after doing all that complaining, I do not want to see it. Because if I see a picture of an amiibo after you did all that complaining, I'm coming for you. I'm like, I thought you had opinions for this. Right.
Yeah. Talk with your wallets, people. Um, and then last little bits of news here. We got Team Cherry has come out and said that they will not be giving any news at E3, which means no Silk Song yet. Uh, I'm kind of probably good thing they did this before instead of just not being there, to come and go,
Hmm.
hey, I know everybody's expecting us. Don't expect us to temper expectations. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, they just show up in like the direct and they're like, yeah, we have nothing to announce. Okay, bye.
Oh, get another it's seriously the Metroid Prime 4 of indie games. Like, that's what it is right now, where it's like they announced it forever ago, and we'll see if it ever comes. Okay, this piece of news is interesting, and I this was in our news last week, and I just totally skipped over it. Pokemon cards are being taken off shelves at Target. Target will no longer be carrying in-person physical Pokemon cards, and I just find this super interesting. They cited it as safety for their employees and for customers. Like the Pokemon card shopping scene has gotten so bad that like there are lineups every week, like it's like Black Friday like camping outside the store waiting for it to open so you can get Pokemon cards. It's wild. I don't know if you guys have followed this or seen anything on it.
Yeah, so I think it's Milwaukee or somewhere in Wisconsin, um, four men were arguing about getting some Pokemon cards, and I think they got arrested, but one of them had a gun on him because he had a right to carry on it. So it could have got out of hand, and one of them could have got shot. Somebody could have got injured. So because of this happening at Target, I think it happened outside at a Target. They decided, what, we're going to take them off the shelf. If people want them, they got to order them, but I think you only can order one or something. I don't know if they put a limit on it. But it's kind of it's I think it's because of the pandemic that people want these cars, and they only want them to sell it so they could get some money for it. They don't really care about the cars, or all these people who are playing it, they're not playing it online. They're not doing any kind of trading. They You don't know anything about the Pokemon TCG era, or community. So really, why are you buying these cars? You just really want to buy them so you can sell them online, and that's it. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that Target is doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that it's to that point, but it's probably for the best for safety. It's unfortunate because now like bots and online scalping are gonna be like the
Mhm.
primary. It's gonna be a target for that, but I don't know how you avoid that. Uh, for me, like I was looking at it, I think a lot of factors have exploded the popularity and made this like buying frenzy. One with like you said, the pandemic for sure has caused a lot of people to have a lot of free time, and so in addition to that, a lot of streamers have started to open up packs on as part of their streams online. Just kind of like a fun, like, hey, we're starting up the stream. Let's open up a Pokemon card pack. Uh, and they've also been selling for super high amounts of money, and that's been really going big in the news. Where like cards going for several $100,000 being bought and sold by celebrities. Like that, all those things I think are making it a craze again, like it was in the 90s. Like Pokemon
Yeah.
cards were huge in the 90s, but it's not the same. It's definitely a weird market. So, yeah.
And it's adults, like adults taking a kids for intended kids item, trying to make money off of it. It's just so backwards and baffling. It's just like, you are a grown adult. Aren't you supposed to be spending your money like on bills and stuff? Why are you spending it on Pokemon cards? Like, I could spend my money on snacks, but I get a reward from snacks because my tummy get full and I get to talk about them. I can't really do anything with Pokemon cards because what I'm going to do with them? I'm just going to collect them, let them collect dust. Why would I try to sell them online for? Why am I trying to flip? Now I gotta wait to make sure that I get some money, or I have to wait to see if I buy it from them, if they're going to send me the card. It becomes risky and stuff. But as a grown adult, I'm not about to spend money on a Pokemon card. I'm not about to order it online. I'm
Yeah.
not about to wait in online. What I'm about to do is I'm about to go to the Nintendo section, buy the next Pokemon game, and then go home and have fun with the game.
Yes, I do feel bad for kids that genuinely want to get Pokemon cards right now. Like
Mhm.
when I was a kid, Pokemon cards were like a reward for doing like chores. Like if you do extra chores around the house, we'd be like, all right, you guys get to pick a card from this pack, and we'd have like a pack in the house that we could look through. And that was like a fun memory as kids, collecting the different Pokemon cards and trading with my siblings. So we have had I feel bad for the kids. That's what I'm trying to go with it. Um, We've got greetings from Haiti in the chat. Welcome. I'm not gonna try and say your username is PercyOg91. Welcome. Let's head to the next segment of our show then and talk not news but rumor. All right, so since we're on topic of Pokemon, this is a rumor. I'm going to put big air quotes around rumor because this is kind of inevitable, but there's a rumor that a Pokemon Presents will be coming right before E3 to announce the Pokemon Unite release date and Diamond and Pearl release dates, like official release dates. And the reason I say it's kind of inevitable is because this has happened several years in a row. It didn't happen last year, but everything was messed up last year. Last year doesn't count. But E3 usually has a Pokemon Presents shortly before where they announce Pokemon news. They like to do their own thing. And then maybe they have some extra stuff in the Direct to talk about what they've already announced. Anyways, I'm excited. Pokemon Unite, I am surprised it's not out already. It feels like that was announced forever ago.
Isn't that the mobile game or something?
It's the MOBA, the PokeMOBA.
Okay. Yeah. I could see it happening. I think more people will be interested in Pearl and Diamond. I think if, as normal, if the game gets released, it's going to be in November because I think that's when most Pokemon games get released is in November, if I'm correct.
Yeah, didn't they? I think all they've announced.
Holiday.
I was gonna say, I think all they've announced is that it's fall.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna bet that it's November as well. You're probably hitting that right on the nose there. And then maybe we'll see something new. Maybe we'll see some more on Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus. I don't know how you pronounce it. Everybody pronounces it different.
I think we'll probably see a new Pokemon that's never been shown in the universe of the series. I think we'll get like a really brand new Pokemon.
Like a new character Pokemon or a new game?
New character Pokemon.
Okay, I can see that, and maybe some more info on the because they're working on an album, right? They just released the song with Katy Perry.
Yes. Oh, that song is so much better than Post Malone.
The Post Malone one made no sense to me, but the concert was cool. It was weird but cool. I'm like, oh, this is yeah. So I think they're doing like a full album, so maybe we'll get some more info on that. Maybe there'll be like a special collectible thing you can buy in conjunction with that. So yeah, I'm excited. Pokemon's having a year. They're having a big year.
Oh yeah.
Now, if they could just bring Pokemon Conquest so everybody could play that game because they missed it. That game was so good.
Yes, I thought that's what we were getting when Legends first popped in. And
I did too. Yeah,
I was like, is this a sequel to Conquest? What? But what we got was pretty cool. Legends looks really good. Yeah, I'm excited. Anything you're hopeful for a Pokemon Direct, Micah?
Mostly just news on when all these things are coming out.
Yeah.
I especially want some more information on the Legends.
Maybe we'll get Pokemon Sleep finally.
Oh. Yeah, I definitely want that. I was just real excited for that way back in the day, but now it's sort of seeming like that's just gone.
Like they swept that one under the rug. They're like, oh god,
yeah,
we never announced that. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, that's all we got going in the rumor mill. So let's move to the last segment of our show where we're gonna really hit the meat of the episode, and that is the community corner. Alrighty, and in today's community corner, we have several questions submitted by the community. We'll start. We already talked to K9's question earlier, so we'll start next with a question from $2 Hero, aka Seth, our buddy from the All In podcast. He asks, it's the Nintendo Pal's first birthday. At Andros and at Micah. You guys are about to blow out the birthday candle. If you guys could have one Nintendo wish come true before the second birthday, what would it be? And then P.S. Since we all know that Micah's answer is simply Metroid Prime 4, he has to give an option B. I feel like you've been called out a little bit there, Micah.
Yeah, a little bit, but I noticed there's just a little bit of a loophole in there, which is I could wish for Metroid Prime 5.
Metroid Prime 5. Yeah, that's a good
So
loophole.
that would be my wish, but I guess I'll give a non Metroid Prime related one. I want Paper Mario and the 1017-year door to come out this year.
2017 your door? Why
No,
that?
1017-year door, because it would be 17 years after the original.
Oh wow.
Maybe do you want so are you
I mean,
hoping for
it's a sequel.
a sequel?
I
Okay.
just want another Paper Mario game with that sort of battle system.
That's a good pick. I also was gonna like I feel like I can't give a cop out answer of like I want Breath of the Wild 2, and we know that's coming, you know. Uh, so I think, and then I thought, well, maybe I could give we get Plock on NSO. That's my answer. But I think if I'm gonna be like totally honest, what I wish we could have is Wii Sports World, and it's all the previous Wii Sports games combined, and maybe some games from Wii Play and Wii Play Motion onto like a super mega pack on the Switch. So you could get that, and it has you can do all the stuff from the original Wii Sports plus Wii Sports Resort. I think that would be just super fun on the Switch with bringing in the Joy-Con controls.
And then just have them throw in all the Nintendo Land games.
Oh, yes, I can't forget Nintendo Land. I don't know how they would do that one, and I don't know if it would fit thematically.
Yeah,
But
a lot of those games would require multiple Switches. But I feel like if you had all the like original Wii Sports stuff that everything could be played locally, that would be more acceptable.
yeah. Yeah, and I feel like the Joy-Con have the ability to do motion controls pretty well from games that do use the motion controls. So I think it would be really fun to do Wii bowling on the Switch. I still have a blast with those games. We have our Wii U still hooked up. We play Wii Sports, play Wii Party.
Nice.
So I like there isn't a game for that market on the Switch. Like, to be real, there's not the what did they call them? The touch generation games where it's
Yeah,
like
the touch generation.
it's like very motion control oriented, catering more towards a casual, towards family party kind of market.
About a 1-2 Switch though.
Yeah, except for that. Yeah,
You want
but
1-2 Switch, but good.
yeah, something like that. I think Clubhouse 51 Games kind of gets there, but they miss the mark on it a little bit. Like bowling can only be played with 2 players. It's not as good as Wii Bowling. It's still fun. And yeah, like you can't hardly play anything on that with more than 2 players. And it's like this. We can't play golf with more than 2 people. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So like that's where I feel like Wii Sports, the greatest selling Nintendo game of all time, just throw that out there, could do very well on the Switch. Yeah.
May I add 2 games? as a bonus for you guys. So I would love Hotel Dust Room 213 and its follow up that came to Europe that never came to America to come to Switch as a 2-pack.
Okay.
Secondly, I would love Elite Beat Agents to be a DLC pack for Ring Fit.
Oh, that would
That'd be
actually be pretty
cool.
fun. So play some Elite Beat songs on Ring Fit.
Yeah.
That's a
Like
good. That's a good call. I would love more songs for that mode. Yeah, yeah. Man, Ring Fit did really well. What if we get a sequel to Ring Fit, guys? Like, what if that? Like, what if they get a sequel and you got more? Like, it's like a dance game or something like that. That would be pretty fun.
I think we will.
I would love that because I feel like Ring Fit is super awesome, a super awesome adventure game, and I would love Ring Fit that's just way more targeted towards the gamer. You know,
Yes.
like because it's definitely like my first RPG. It really slowly introduces the skill tree and the like different attacks, and I think it's like World 2 that you finally unlock. Okay, if you attack with this color, it does more damage. Like it takes a while to get to that point, and I would love if it was just like a really complex, like we're playing Fire Emblem but with the Ring Fit Joy-Con. You know, like what I'm saying. We got the skill trees with tons of different abilities. That would be awesome. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Ring Fit Pro. That's what.
That's the or DX. That's the name of it. Pro or
Yeah.
DX.
But love the question. Thanks, Seth, for asking it. And yes, again, we'll be doing our birthday bash next Saturday, May 29th. Tune in here on Twitch. Alrighty. Next, we got a question from Third Strongest Mole. He asks, do you think motion controls are dead? The Switch seemed intent on keeping them alive at launch with the Joy-Con, but with the Switch Lite out and new games that fully use the functionality are seeming less likely. What are you guys' thoughts? Micah?
Um, I wouldn't quite say dead, but it does seem slightly dead. It I don't think there will be many games that require motion controls. I think just about every game that has motion controls will also allow the user to play with just the button controls.
It seems like it. I mean, with some exceptions, but even those kind of annoy me a little bit. Like Mario Party, Super Mario Party, you have to play with the Joy Cons because they integrate
That's
like
true.
motion control games. But I'm like, man, I wish I didn't have to do this. Uh,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I don't know.
So I mean that would be a point against a new Wii Sports
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah, it would be. Would they if they mapped that to button controls? I'd
I mean,
actually
it
be
wouldn't
kind of
be nearly as good though.
right. I'd be kind of upset if
Yeah.
they did that. Like it wouldn't be Wii Sports anymore. Like it's gotta be motion all the way. I mean, they're adding it to Mario. It's in Mario Golf. They're gonna have motion controls. That looked uncomfortable. Like, hold on, I'm on video, so sorry for all the audio listeners. But like, you got your Joy-Con here. This is not. It's not like a Wii remote. It's not big
It's
enough to
not
like
long enough.
hold like a. Yeah, you're like, it's just too small. Even in the commercial, the guy's holding it, and he's like,
He's got like one pinky
yeah,
or
yeah,
his other hand on it.
yeah. So are we gonna start selling those like you guys remember
Peripherals.
the plastic add-ons that you get for the Wii remotes? You know, it's
And
like a plastic bat that you put
and
the
yeah, and for those of us that are like actually adults, they're way too short.
oh that'd be pretty funny. Eddie, what are your thoughts? Motion controls are they dead?
No, they're not dead. I think they just transferred. In a sense, because even though and third party on Nintendo console is not using a lot of the Joy Cons, look at PSVR or look at VR games in general, how they integrated motion control in what you do. I think it's Beat Mania or the one where you're doing like the drums and stuff, and that you're hitting it like you're hitting a sword and stuff. The way that's integrated for that game,
Beat
I
Saber.
think
Oh man, that
Beat
would be
Savior.
that would be awesome on Switch. with the Joy
Yeah.
Cons. I feel like that would actually work pretty well.
Yeah, and like even when you play stuff like Farpoint or Half-Life Alex and stuff, there's a lot of things that they integrated in the VR mode where you're doing motion control. So it just it hasn't ended or anything. It's not dying. It's just transferred that, you know, a lot of motion control that we do now is in VR than it is on console, just like regular playing stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
you like took my exact thoughts. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, well, what about VR, guys? Because VR seems to be. I can't definitively say like that's the next step, but if VR is kind of becoming more mainstream, like motion controls aren't going to go away because VR almost requires motion controls. There are some VR games that use like just a regular game controller, but I'd say those aren't as fun. I don't know. Micah could probably speak to that more than me because you got an Oculus, right?
Yeah.
And probably with Nintendo's Garage game that's coming out, the Garage programming game, if you want motion controls, they'll probably allow you to make games that just use motion controls and you could put it out there. So we may get a lot of creators out there on using motion control in very creative ways.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, I feel like it's more likely that indie developers will find cool uses of motion controls on the Switch than like AAA titles, because it's
Hmm.
probably seen as a little more experimental, and these big companies won't want to experiment on that.
Yeah, but I agree because I kind of see like to me I thought the Joy-Con were perfect for like a VR experience. They're both small and fit into your hand. And we had like the Labo VR, and it seemed like they were kind of playing around with the possibility. So maybe that's like the next steps, you know. Uh,
And,
Switch
and
2 is going to be have VR capability kind of stuff.
And you just talked about Ring Fit on how successful that is, and that's completely all motion control. It's just in a different way and stuff. So it's not dead if you're selling millions like that for a game for Ring Fit and stuff. So I don't think it's dying out or anything.
That's so true. Didn't even cross my mind, but because that is yeah, it is very motion control heavy. Uh, I I hope that we keep it around because I don't think I think that was one of the keys to the Wii's success. And motion controls have only gotten better since the Wii era. Like the Joy-Con is so powerful by comparison to a Wii remote and
Hmm.
what it can do. Uh, I'm excited to see the future of the tech that Nintendo does because they're always going to be pushing the boundaries of what's possible. You know, they're the ones that are starting things. They're trying something different with like the actual functionality of their console. So
Yes.
I'm in that camp that I think they're gonna keep it around just because it's new. I don't know. Thank you for the question, Third Strongest Mole. Uh, Next question comes from LPD. This is with the news of a possible new Time Splitters game. What are some of your favorite classic FPS shooters with great single player campaigns? Any hidden gems?
Okay, so Medal of Honor Frontlines. That was on GameCube. That is kind of my a little bit of my first uh getting into first person shooters, and that game was so good. It got me into World War II shooters and the first person games. Another one would be the Golden Eye one. I think not the World Ends With You or the World of Something. One of the 007 ones. Me and my friends used to play that on N64. No, that was it. Is it N64?
I know they had.
They had like
Or no, I
Rogue
think it was
Agent.
game. No, it was GameCube.
Was
It
it
was a
Rogue
GameCube one.
Agent?
I, it may be. It was one of them that was just like it was in the blue box or something. I thought it was like the world ends or something. It was some 007 game that me and my friends would play. And my one friend, he was the top sniper. Like you give him a sniping gun, your game was over. Like he would just win battles and he would camp somewhere and be like, "Where in the heck is he?" And just die from it. So those two are some of my favorites.
Yeah, it would be cool to get like a good 007 game again.
I feel like it's been a
Yes.
while.
It has been a while. I feel like the GameCube kind of is where it ended. I don't know if they had one. Well, they did do a remaster on the Wii for
Two
GoldenEye.
dollar $2 hero said in the chat. Is it the world is not enough? That
Yes,
sound
that's
familiar?
it. Yes.
There you go, $2 hero coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
um, yeah, Micah, you got
I
picks.
I got one. I don't actually know how much of a hidden gem it is, but Perfect Dark on the N64.
Okay,
Ooh.
okay.
I actually
Skip pick.
mostly played it on like the remaster they had for the Xbox 360, but that game had a lot of.
Ah.
Even they had a counter operative mode. So you play through the campaign, and one person would play like random guards in the levels. So they'd have much less health, but they're like playing against the main character, and every time they died, they'd like take control of someone else, essentially. So I need more games need to do stuff like that.
Man, uh, that yeah, I that reminded me of Zombie U on the Wii U. That mode where you played someone played
Like
as the
the
zombie
zombie
spawner.
board or whatever. I don't know
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
they
and the
called it.
other people were playing in game. Yeah, those kinds. I love
Yeah,
those
that one was
kinds of.
pretty cool.
I love those kinds of multiplayer, like unique multiplayer shooter experiences.
Was Geist a was first person shooter?
Geist. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with that one.
It was a game that Nintendo did for the GameCube, where you was able to. I think it was a stealth game. Like you would be able to stealth, but you could switch your soul into different bodies. So you want to switch your spirit into a dog, you can and stuff. It's a quirky game that Nintendo released, and I'm just like, was it that first person shooter or not? I think it was a stealth game.
Yeah, it looks like it's a first person shooter. And I think I just looked up. I hadn't heard about that, but that concept actually sounds really cool.
For me, I am like the last person to ask this question because I played like no first person shooters. Like no, I didn't play like any of them because I always had Nintendo consoles, and even on those Nintendo consoles, I didn't get any of the first person shooter games. Um, but I got to shout out to Micah. You're gonna have to remind me the title. It's The Conduit on the Wii.
Oh yeah, Conduit.
Yeah.
The Conduit was
Oh yeah, that game was awesome. The
so
ending of
fun.
the second game was so absurd.
I don't.
I mean,
I didn't play
I
the
guess.
story. All I did was multiplayer with you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of wish there would have been another one, but I mean, I guess I'll just spoil it for everyone. At the end of the second one, I can't remember exactly. How, but you like fight the boss, and there's some like portal open, and two
Hmm.
people walk out, and it shows them, and it's the main guy's like, "What the you're," and it like turns to them, and it's Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, and this like futuristic Halo like armor, I guess, and they just like pick up say here to help, and it just ends. I wanted Conduit 3 so bad, so I could figure out know what the heck was going on.
There is a video that tells the history of both games. It's interesting on YouTube.
Oh, I'll definitely check that out because I dug the Conduit on the Wii.
I
You
I
shot.
forgot about that. That was a
You
good one.
never did Metroid Prime on GameCube?
Oh,
I
of course
didn't.
I
No,
no,
I'm
he didn't.
Micah hates me forever for this. Like, it's a real rift in our friendship that
It really is.
I didn't play any Metroid Prime games. So I skipped the GameCube. I missed out on the GameCube.
Okay,
I had Super
that's
Nintendo
understandable.
and 64, and we jumped to Wii. I had all the handhelds, and so I missed out on Metroid Prime. I tried it on the Wii, but starting in at number 3 maybe was where I went wrong. But I just couldn't get into it. I'm excited for 4. I have to say that, or Micah won't do this show with me anymore
Yeah.
if I'm not
Well,
excited for Metroid Prime
drive
4.
down to your house and beat you up.
He'll
uh,
come to the door with cookies.
the
Yeah.
the other game I wanna shout out to, Link's Crossbow Training. Let's get a sequel to Link's crossbow training. That would be awesome. So I played first person shooters on the Wii because of you got the pointer controls, right? And I just loved
Mhm.
the Wii Zapper. Um, and yeah, it's just that's a great game that I almost wish there was a full game that used those mechanics. It doesn't even have to be Zelda. Like it could have been something else.
What was that assassin? No, was you an assassin? The one that Ubisoft did. The sequel. You was like in the Wild West. Like you had a sword and a gun. Um.
Oh,
I cannot
Red
think of it.
Steel.
Red
And it's
Yeah,
sitting
Steel.
right
yeah.
there. Yeah,
$2 got
Red
us a
Yeah,
game.
Steel.
totally just thought of that myself. Definitely did not look at that for that.
I know the first one had problems, but a lot of people really loved the second one. And I think if that game got like an HD remake for Switch, it would do phenomenal using motion controls.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
is that did that game have a game mode where you'd like hold your controller up to your ear and it would like tell you which player you had to kill?
I
I,
Am I thinking?
seem to remember that. Yeah,
I think so.
Okay, yeah, because I just remember playing that
uh
mode of it.
but what I really wanted to talk about is I know this doesn't count because this is straight up not a first person shooter, but I love third person shooters. That's why I'm really into Fortnite. We enjoy that game. I would love to see some more Sarge's Heroes. I don't know if you guys play Sarge's Heroes.
Ooh, I know about Sergeant Zeros. I
Those
know about
were
it.
so fun on the N64. I loved those games. I loved the multiplayer, but I also really liked the campaign. I went back and tried to play those semi recently, and it's hard because they're like ancient control schemes that don't make any sense. It's like you're fighting the game to get anything done. But a modern Sarge's Heroes game would be so fun because they just had really interesting stories where you're like bobbing and weaving out of real world and army man world. And in the real world, like if your character's there too long, they get frozen and become a toy forever. And it's like the campaign was like so over the top and fun. I just loved it. Yeah. That's my answer for the like hidden gem with a good campaign. I don't know if that's really a hidden gem. That was a pretty popular game, but the single player was really good. Oh, third strongest mole. We already answered your question on motion controls, but he just popped into chat. Uh yeah, any others you guys want to highlight? How about third person shooters? Did you guys I don't know if you guys I'm putting you on the spot here.
Uh, Third person shooters. Okay, so this is not Nintendo related, but this is the PS2 GameCube era. It may actually came on GameCube called Kill Switch, Kill Dot Switch. It was by Namco at the time. Um, that was a third kind of a third person shooter. It was like a little bit cover based, very arcadey if you played it and stuff. It had some terrible controls, but it was a kind of a fun game. And then second, I think Second Sight is the one where you were beating like bald headed man with your fists. I think that was the name of it. It was on Xbox and PS2. Is this? It may be Second
the
Sight.
the thing like the thing about that era is like we just got some like Xbox games come to the Switch with that new
Mhm.
with the Star Wars Rogue Squad, was it not Rogue Squadron? Uh
Jedi Academy or something like that.
oh,
Or
it was the shooter that was it's probably Rogue Squadron, but I feel like that's not right. I'm gonna have to look it
Rogue
up.
Squadron, I think, was generally a piloting
Yeah,
game
no,
for
it
the
was a
computer,
shooter
if I
game that
remember.
just came out. It was an old Xbox game. I'm going
it
to
was, I know it's Jedi something.
Republic Commando. That's
Republic
what I'm
Commando.
looking
Okay.
for. Uh, Republic Commando, and we also got Stubbs the Zombie, and these are like old Xbox games. So I
Mm.
talked about this last episode with my Smash Bros picks, but like, what if we get the original Halo games ported to Switch? Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Um, I don't think no one would play them on Switch.
Really?
Waiting
Yes.
for the on-the-go aspect.
Mm-hmm. The thing about it is the Halo Master Chief Collection didn't really make a big splash. And you kind of got to think about it. Who's been asking more for it? A first person shooter on Switch, the Metro Prime trilogy or the Halo trilogy?
Oh yeah,
Metro Prime,
yeah. That's a good point. Like,
Metro Prime trilogy would sell bunkers over at Halo. Now, I'm not saying that the Halo trilogy can't come to Switch. Microsoft bring it over. But let's reverse it. What if Metro Prime 3 went to Series X? What if Nintendo was just like, you know what? For 6 months, Metro Prime trilogy. If you guys want to play, it's on Series X Game Pass.
I feel like people would play it, but I don't know. I don't know. Just because if it's on Game Pass, that's a
Hmm.
different deal. But like, you're right that the different audiences I think would gravitate more towards their IP. Right.
Yes.
If you've always been an Xbox guy or Xbox gamer or Nintendo gamer, you're gonna go towards the one that you've played the other ones for.
Now, now, if Halo, if the Master Chief Collection came to Switch with an amiibo, then it's gonna sell bokus of titles, and people
Master
will
Chief
play.
Amiibo.
Like, just think, Master Chief, the Warhawk, like the vehicle
Man,
amiibo,
that would be
like,
you've like kind of opened my eyes to this possibility because we talked about last episode. One of my top picks for a Smash Bros. DLC character
hmm?
is Master Chief. Even though I've like played no Halo, I've played a little bit of multiplayer with friends. I just think it would be like a big crossover, and I'm like that. I think it would be so cool. An amiibo with that. Oh man, that would be super cool. A
you
Nintendo amiibo of Master Chief.
you don't think the you got the Microsoft community, you got the Halo community, you got the Nintendo community. Sony's gonna come in. The Sony community, oh, they're gonna snag that because to them it's a collector's item.
Yeah.
This would be a big thing not only for Nintendo but really for Microsoft. Because then, of course, everyone will be like, "Well, can I use my amiibo for Halo Infinite?" No, you can't. You only can use it for Smash. But it would be something really nice for people to have. We talked about the Zelda amiibo, $25. You think that a 3-pack Halo amiibo set along with Halo Master Chief Collection, 79.99 for the Master Chief Collection, 34.99 for the 3-pack. People would spend the money to get all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd make their money. That's for sure. It's like so I think as far as third person shooters go,
Hmm.
hopping off Halo, I really want to see Kid Icarus Uprising get a
I
new
knew it
life.
would lead back to this.
You knew.
Yeah.
I love I love the mechanics of that game. I know it would take some major tweaking to move it from the control scheme, but that game is so underrated on 3DS because the controls like really ruined the experience for a lot of people because it was not very comfortable. I'll admit it was like not a super comfortable way to play, but beyond that, like the game is so good. It's so good. The dialogue's great. You know you're basically playing Star Fox followed by some like almost Zelda like gameplay and then some Monster Hunter boss fights. Like it's all that in a level, and you got like 30 levels of that. It's oh so good.
So, what if it was designed like Space Harrier from Sega, where you could just fly around the board and shoot? Because that's kind of in a way where Star Fox kind of came from.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, I'm telling my age, but like if you could move Kid Icarus like you could as Space Harrier, it's just like be able to shoot different arrows and stuff like that to replace the controls or fix the controls. I wonder what that would do. If you want to still make a third like over the shoulder game, that's fine. To me, I'll be like, give it a treasure. Let them fool around with this thing and
Yeah.
let them just do whatever.
I really like I know people say like oh it would be difficult. I really don't think it would be that hard to just
I
turn it
don't
into
know.
a twin stick game. Like because we got like Star Fox does that, and we haven't had Star Fox on the Switch, but we had Starlink, and it played well. So
Yeah.
that those games are out there and can work on here. Micah, you got any third person shooters you want to see come to Switch?
Oh yeah. I guess it's not necessarily much of a shooter, but there is some shooting in it, so I'm gonna count it. But Star Fox Adventures.
Okay, okay.
That game was
My,
that game was my jam back in the day.
my nemesis of Rare.
What?
You don't like Star Fox
I did
Adventure?
not. I didn't like the fourth dungeon. It was one of the dungeons I did not like because the controls were so bad in that game.
Oh man, all I remember of that game is it's incredible and it's perfect.
I mean, it's a good. I mean, I think it would have been it's a good adventure game, but I think the controls itself messed it up for me. So I think if they fixed up the controls for that game, I think it would do fine on Switch. I'm not saying that it's a bad game. It's just my nemesis because of those controls. That's it.
Yeah.
I
I apparently need to go back and try a lot of these games I hold so dear because everyone keeps talking about how their controls are all so terrible.
Yeah, like you gotta go back and play some Mario Sunshine.
Mario Sunshine,
Yes, you
yeah.
do. And you know it might be just like the Switch port is not as good as the GameCube. That might be the case. Uh, I agree though, Mike. I would love to see more adventure style gameplay for Star Fox. Let's mix it up. Like, what was the game on GameCube? The other Star Fox game on
Star
GameCube,
Fox Assault.
Star Fox Assault, where it had the multiplayer where you could play as the characters on the ground and you're
Hmm.
fighting each other. I would love that. Like part of the level is you on the ground, and then part of the level is dogfighting in the ships with classic Star Fox gameplay. Like make that game. That game would be so fun to have. Basically, make Kid Icarus Uprising, but with Star Fox characters. Like you invade the planet, and then you gotta hop out and you do stuff on the ground with your characters, and then fight a boss. Oh man, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
That's my namesake. Gotta get some more Andross on the Switch. Well, thank you so much for the question, LPD, and possible new time splitters. Are you guys into the time splitter series? I am not super familiar with it. I know of it vaguely.
Yeah, I know of it, but I've never played it. So whenever they work on it, they bring it out. I'll play it. Hopefully they re-release the old games because I will play them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Time Splitters 2 and really enjoyed that game, so I'm kind of excited to see what happens with a new one.
What system was it on? Is that
I
PlayStation?
think it's PlayStation
PlayStation
2.
2. Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't see this news item. Is this rumored to be coming to Switch? Do we know?
So what it is that they are planning to do it, but no development has work on it. Deep Silver, they're forming the company is it Radical? Free
Oh, okay. I
Radical.
did see this.
They're forming Free Radical, and they're bringing the people who made Time Splitters as head of the company so that they can make another game. Deep Silver literally created this company again just so that the game could be coming out.
So let me
That's
ask
cool.
you guys this question then. What this semi-related, what company would you like to see reformed to bring back a series uh, that it no longer exists? The series is dead IP, or the company's not there anymore or focused on it.
I would love, and I know they're still alive and changed their name, but I would love the original working designs to come back so I could play Alondra.
Alondra? I haven't even heard of that one.
Alondra was a PS1 kind of Zelda action game. And they had a sequel, but over time working designs went out. Have you heard of Lunar Silver Star or think it's Lunar
Lunars.
Silver Star. I know they had a series called Lunar and stuff, but they did a lot of role playing games, and the Launcher was one of the biggest ones because it had the Zelda feel to it and everything. And it was a really cool game.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah. I've heard of Lunar. I'm looking at
yeah,
the title and the picture. It's jogging my memory.
yeah,
Those, yeah, that's one I haven't seen in a long time. That would be cool
yeah.
for them to come back with something new. Cause yeah, some games have stood the test of time. Like Zelda, still here, still standing. Got Mario,
Yes.
got Final Fantasy. But some of these like classic adventure games, the classic RPG games, just are like lost.
Yeah, they got they had some stuff on Sega Saturn that I never got a chance to play. And I wish they would come back, and if Nintendo could buy them or reform them, I'm down for that.
Uh, Micah, you got
Um, I guess I don't actually really know what happened. I think they're still going, but Camelot, who created Golden Sun, I'm always
Camelot's
down for
on all
some
the
more Golden
sports.
Suns.
They did all
Yeah,
the
they've been
sports
doing all
stuff,
the yeah,
but you want Golden Sun to come
but
back. Yeah,
yeah, I want the non-Mario sports Camelot to make a new Golden Sun game.
that is a good pick. Golden Sun is one that I'd love to see revived. This is like this one I probably shouldn't count, but I would love to see another entry in the Chrono Trigger series. I feel like what the heck? Why'd they stop? Why'd they stop? Like Chrono Trigger was wildly successful, and I think Chrono Cross was also pretty successful, which was the sequel. And then that was
Hmm.
it. They didn't do any more with it.
Um, I think Square was getting away from the Chrono games, and I think it was a lot of the reception that yeah, it did sell well, but it was like kind of a negative reception to it because people felt like it didn't feel like a Chrono Trigger game. It felt like a different RPG. Um, they had one of them called Radical Dreams, and I think that was supposed to lead into Chrono Cross. There's a story about it. I gotta look back. But yeah, man, Chrono Cross was such a hard game.
We have Third Strongest Mole in chat says he his wishes Shigesato Itoi gets back into game development and reforms APE. I don't know what Ape made. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Or
What
Well,
uh,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
what game? That name sounds familiar, and I'm trying to figure
oh,
out what game did he
Earthbound.
make.
Earthbound. He wants Earthbound to come back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Duh. Yeah. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh, that's that's
Well, he
that.
has his own video game company. Um, and it's up to him if he wants to do Earthbound.
I know.
Uh,
Well, and I
because
mean, but
because
Nintendo is like actively fights Earthbound becoming a thing. Like it seems like they try to suppress it. Like
well,
we don't get Mother 3. We get Earthbound, but it comes so rarely and it's always like kind of yeah, it's got a cult following that could really boost
mhm.
it to become like a super popular thing.
Yeah, I think there's contract stuff that they would have to work out in order for that to happen. So I think with this new Nintendo, I think if they're willing to sit down with them and work the kinks out and get the game localized, I think that game could do wonders here in America. I think it would make a fantastic eShop game. If they put that out for $40, and if they want to do a physical version, they can. I think that game would do wonders. And if they want to do a time exclusive, do a time exclusive with the 6 month thing. But once again, 6 months is enough time for you guys to get 40 some dollars and buy this game. Crash the eShop like y'all did Ryu when he came to um
Smash Bros.
Malay
Oh,
for Wii U
oh yeah.
and they crashed the eShop because people were buying the game. Crash the eShop and show Nintendo that you will buy Mother 3 if it ever drops.
Yeah. I think it would. I really do think it would sell super well. Another one I wanna toss out as one I'd love to see come back. And this is gonna be kind of a mixed bag here, but the team behind Scribblenauts and the original Drawn to Life, which I believe they were the it might have been the same publisher. I'm gonna have to quickly look that up. Now we got two
Didn't they
develops.
do a new Scribble Knots?
They did, but the
Nothing
company
new.
since disbanded. Let's see who does.
Ah, okay.
I'm looking here. Original Scribblenauts was published by Warner Bros., but who developed it? Because the developers of it, I feel like once they
Cell.
Fifth Cell. That's it. Yep, that's what I was thinking of.
Yes, Fifth
Developers of
Cell, okay.
Fifth Cell, which I believe disbanded. They at the very least like did a big layoff.
Okay.
And it kind of spelled death for the Scribblenauts franchise. Scribblenauts, unfortunately, as a series, like got milked really bad. I think it was more the Warner Brothers influence than the Fifth Cell, because the original game and the original idea and even the immediate sequel were so cool and so good, like very unique ideas. And same with like I feel like yeah they did Drawn to Life as well. The original Drawn to Life.
Yes.
Those ideas for the 3DS were just so unique and so cool. I would love to see that come back in new form instead of what happened, which was Scribblenauts just kind of turned into this repetitive. We release every other year. We release every year with a subpar game. Like the one on the Wii U was just bad. And there was nothing new for the series. It actually got easier. It felt like they were moving towards targeting an even younger audience for it, and it's like, I want that game to come. I want them to come back and make some either make like a real good sequel to Drawn to Life and to Scribblenauts, or to do something new and unique.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how what's happening with SteamWorld Dig, in the sense that that series is kind of getting a little bit stale because there's just so many of them coming out, and it feels like nothing is changing in it and stuff. So unless they fix the new one that they plan on working on, or they do a new IP, I don't know how long they're going to be, stable in this economy.
It's hard as a game developer trying to establish an IP, because not everybody is Mario and can get away with releasing a game every year, every other year. But also Mario's so diverse. I mean, we get Mario Kart. You got Mario at the Olympics. You get all sorts of sports spin-offs. You got 2D. You got 3D. So there's like a variety with the mechanics that it doesn't feel super repetitive. But even still, like, how many complaints have we seen about New Super Mario Bros. Looking the same? Oh, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, all of those look the same, and they do. Those got too overdone.
But then you look at the 59 million sales that those games did, and I guess that's acceptable.
Yeah, I don't think that a lot of these smaller companies, these third party, or even maybe what we consider nowadays indie games, can do that successfully. Like you're saying with SteamWorld. Yeah, SteamWorld 1 and 2, and I feel like the rest of them, like, they're trying different game styles, but it's I've got the same sentiment. I didn't get quite as drawn into it as SteamWorld 1 and 2. Like, it was like, okay, let's do. I kind of want them to go back to the original format, but I also want something new. It's a hard line to tread as a developer, I'd say. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for answering that on the fly question on developers you'd like to see come back. Let us know, those listening, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment below or hit us up on Twitter. Join up our Discord. Let us know what developers you would like to see come back. And with that, we will close out the show here. I want to give Eddie a chance to plug his stuff and his show. So where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Boss Rush Network and bossrushgames.com. You check out Nintendo Power Block on Mondays. We go live. If not, you can check it on Wednesdays on our YouTube page and on Anchor FM, iTunes, and other places. We have a lot of great shows like Crossroads, which is our PlayStation. We have Arsenal X and our interview show 1v1, where we talk to different content creators. You guys will really enjoy the things that we do. So you can check us out at Boss Rush Games. On like I said, on our website, and follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Where we all chat it up, and you can check us out on our Discord at Boss Rush Games. Come talk snacks, games, podcasts. Come find out different things that we all have for you guys. So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we super appreciate you coming on. We're looking forward to it. We're scheduled to come on to Pow Block later in the month. And I guess I'll say here, I don't know where I'm going with it. This day, next week, next Thursday, we are going to be guests on the Nintendo Dads podcast. We've had all the Nintendo Dads on as guests here, and shoehorned our way in so that we could come on to their show and talk some E3 predictions. I'm excited for that. And then Nintendo Pal Day shortly after that on May 29th. And then on the 31st, we're going on to Pow Block with Eddie and the gang over there. And I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a packed weekend with just tons of podcasts and tons of Nintendo. We're going to have a lot to talk about because we're going to be playing a whole bunch. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
If you would like to follow us, you can do so by hopping onto Twitter. We are at Nintendo Pals on Twitter. We are at Nintendo Pals Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and we're on pretty much all podcast platforms. Definitely hop on and leave us a 5-star review if you can, because that helps us move up in the rankings of podcast world, and we get seen by more new people. Like we're getting new listeners all the time. We've experienced a lot of growth in our show's audience and meeting new people. It's so cool, so fun, so exciting. Glad you guys like this and are listening. Super thanks. I never would have thought we'd have like classrooms full of people, that listen to us just nerd out about, Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
My people, we're all out there, Nintendo brings us together. I want to give special thanks to VGR for the theme music that we use for our show, and also big thanks to Eddie and his crew. Thank you guys thank you for coming on and for hanging out with us, talking snacks, experiencing all our lovely technical difficulties. This is the first time we've had any internet crashes, so it's an adventure. First time for everything.
Welcome to the podcast world. There's snacks in the back.
Yeah. So I guess I will be here. I'm clicking on buttons on my end. My bad here. But we'll end here with a closing remark from Eddie.
Yes, let's continue to play video games. We want you to be you, be more, and as always, be better to one another. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Eddie.